Well, we welcome you back to 5 Talk Street. I'm Scott Murray. Our next guest placed first on The Biggest Loser, and now she is second. Please welcome Michelle Aguilar. Great to see you.
Good to see you.
First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Even though it's been a couple of years, huh?
It's been a while, and it's not a glamorous title, but you know, here at NBC, everybody at least knows what it means.
But I tell you what, I bet it changed your life, didn't it?
It did. My life has taken a total 180. The person I was before was very shy and kind of not very outspoken, and I'm still that way. But because of the show, it's definitely given me a platform to tell everybody about kind of my life and the transformation that I've been through.
Well, before we get to I Am Second and your involvement there, how you first heard about that, since you are a speaker out there in the circuit, what is the one message that, if we were to have a takeaway, best put, that you'd want to make sure that I took away from your speech?
Well, I would want people to know that there is hope. One thing that The Biggest Loser does try to show people is that no matter what your age is or how far gone you think you might be because you're on, medications or health or, any of those setbacks, that if you just start today, you start doing something, that you can change your life. And so there is hope no matter what your situation is.
All right, well, let's go to I Am Second now. Where did you hear about this?
Well, I think like most people in the Metroplex, I'm from the area, and I started to drive around and I started to see these, very, dynamic black and white billboards that said I Am Second. And then over the next, few weeks, I started to see faces that I recognized, and I became interested, and eventually, given our tech-savvy society, found them online and watched some videos, and, was really just captivated from the first moment I saw those billboards go up to even now. I mean, it just continues to grow into such a dynamic movement.
So how did you get involved to the point that you say, you know what, I like what this mission is all about? It was a healing process of sorts for me on Biggest Loser. This is another form of healing process. How can it change my life?
But, I think I've always wanted to. I grew up in a Christian home. I grew up in a ministry environment, and I've always heard powerful testimonies. But I never thought that mine would be a powerful testimony for people. I thought, well, there's people being delivered from drugs and alcohol, and I'm just this girl. And so when I was approached to do I Am Second, my husband had been doing some work for E3 Partners, and I knew about it, and I thought what they were doing was great, and they asked me to do it. I was so honored. Just coming off Biggest Loser, everything was a blur and a whirlwind, but to be able to do something that I felt had a lasting impact, that I could share this story about this dynamic change that happened in my life with people, that this story would then go places I couldn't go and be places I couldn't be, was just kind of a godsend for me. I thought it was really just a really smart way to kind of get my story out to people. It's kind of just that way of giving back.
You talk about life-changing processes and healing and what have you, whether it's I Am Second, whether it's The Biggest Loser, whatever it might be. And yet I've spoken to a couple of other people that were involved with Biggest Loser, and they said the toughest part for me was just saying to myself, I'm good enough or I'm capable enough of going on this in the first place.
Right.
You have to get to that point that say, I have some issues with my weight or I have some issues with whatever. It's up to me to change it. Nobody else around me can do that.
Right.
Correct?
Well, yeah, and you have to realize that it's important to take some control over what's happening around you and not just kind of say, well, this is the cards I've been dealt and I just have to deal with it. I was somebody who was struggling with, sadness and pain and depression. My story kind of goes back in that my parents got divorced, and for nearly 6 years I didn't speak to my mother, and so to end up on Biggest Loser with my mother and kind of being forced to deal not just with some physical issues and emotional issues, but then also some spiritual issues. So it was really just this long process of kind of tearing down all those walls that say, you're not good enough and you don't deserve that kind of time, but you are important and you should, put things out there and deal with whatever it is that you're facing today.
So it's not just a weight-changing process, it's a life-changing process.
Absolutely. For me, it was a life-changing process. I think you can't go there and not change from the inside out. If just the physical changes, you still are coming home with all those issues and all those problems, but how much better is it to have, true change from the inside out?
So do I dare ask how the relationship is with Mom? Or
Sure, yeah. No,
Okay.
The relationship with my mom, one of the biggest things from Biggest Loser is not just winning and a prize and a platform. That wasn't the goal, but really my mom and I walked away with a new foundation, a new thing that we could both relate to and both talk about. And it wasn't just our pain or our past, but now we have this new experience to kind of go back and really share with each other as we go forward now.
All right, so I've got about a minute left. I'm going to give you the platform. You're the boss, you're the host, you're the everything right now.
Oh, no.
What would you share with the audience about where you've come from, all you've endured, the obstacles that you've had to overcome, and now where you are today here in 2012, as you look forward, why you feel good about yourself and why everybody out there, if they do, as you said, take control of their own life, can have much the same enjoyment that you have in your life now?
Well, I have had the opportunity to speak to thousands of people. I've been on tour with Women of Faith. I've put out a book I'm also a part of the I Am Second book. I've had all these wonderful opportunities to reach people. And overall, I want people to know, because as I've shaken hands and given people hugs, we're more alike than we are different. Our struggles make us more similar than it pulls us apart. And if you just share with one another, you reach out and you talk to somebody, if you see a billboard, you watch a video, and you make a connection, I want to encourage people to reach out to somebody and say, what kind of things can I do to change my life in small ways and in big ways? I always want to leave people with the idea that they can do something today. They can do more today than they did yesterday, and more tomorrow than they did today, and they can change their lives. And I think that is what people I think sometimes forget, is that we are more similar than we are different.
And I Am Second is a very important part of that.
Absolutely. I Am Second is a door open. People look at me and go, but you won, you're the winner, why are you second? And it's a perfect way to talk to people about what's happened to me.
Well, you're absolutely adorable, but I will tell you this, for somebody that said she was shy, I'm not buying that. You did a great job.
Well,
it was
thank
really
you.
a
Thank you
pleasure to
very
meet you,
much.
and continued success.
Thank you.
Super. Thanks, Michelle. We're coming back with more of 5 Talk Street, so don't you go away.